Hi guys, welcome back for another video. If this is your first video of mine, my name is Bailey and today we're going to be talking about the books that I want to read this fall. I feel like I've been so slack on my reading game lately because I just feel like ever since I read Divine Rivals a couple months ago, I just have been in a book slump. Like nothing has been as good. I've just been chasing that high. If you have read, that was a 5-star book for me, and if you've read like a really good book, you know how it feels to be in a book slump after, because you just feel like nothing will ever be as good. That's how I felt with Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber as well. But I am really going to fight that and try to read some really good fall reads, and I'm really excited. I feel like in the past I've kind of like dreaded the new season and just, I don't know, like I really love summer. I love like being outside in the heat. Like honestly, I love that. I love being at the pool, going to the beach, doing like summery things, like summer fashion or whatever. And this, obviously I put this on because I'm like, you know, if I'm filming a fall video, I want to be wearing fall colors. So I am really looking forward to the fall this year though. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the TikToks I've been seeing, the Instagram reels of just like all the fall vibes, but I thought it'd be fun to put together a little fall TBR to go by this fall of just some fall themed slash fall vibe books that I want to read. I don't have the physical copies of them because I am just a Kindle girl. A lot of you guys are probably here from my Kindle videos. I don't have the space to put physical books. I love how easy the Kindle is, and there's a million different reasons why I love my Kindle. I won't go into that, but I don't have the physical copy, so I'm just gonna put a picture here of each one that I want to read. So the first book that I want to read is A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, not really sure how to say her last name, but she wrote The 7-Year Slip, and honestly, so many people are obsessed with that. I only gave that one 3 stars. I feel like there's really good potential for this new book to be really good. It just seems so great, and I actually got this from Destiny, the booktuber, and she was saying it'd be the perfect fall read, so I'm really excited to read this one. I think it's basically about this girl who enjoys reading and she ends up like accidentally stumbling into the world of one of her books, and so she's like living in that world, and that just sounds like so cozy and fun. I am super excited for that. I think it's like romance, but from what I've heard, like the romance is maybe more of a subplot. TBD on that. The next book that I want to read is The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. Just based on the synopsis on Goodreads, it says it's kind of like Chronicles of Narnia vibes, which I've never read, but I watched those as a child and I actually really want to read them this winter. I love those vibes. I feel like they'll be so good for like the fall winter time, and basically this story is about these two best friends who, when they were in their teenage years, they both like mysteriously went missing in a forest for 6 months, and then they came back, just randomly showed up, and neither of them had a memory of like what even happened to them, and they still have like trauma from it, but they don't know like what happened. Way later, they're adults, another girl ends up going missing in the same exact forest, so they're like working to figure out what happened to her. They think like the same thing happened to her as what happened to them, so it seems very good, more like a mystery. I don't think it's so much a thriller, but I'm really excited to read that one. The next book that I want to read is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. If you follow me on Goodreads or have seen like anything that I post about what I read, I did start this book. I think I read like 8% and I DNF'd it. Maybe it was even like 6% because I just thought it was so cheesy. I was like, I can't do this. And I've read The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams and gave it 5 stars. And then I also read another one by her and gave it 1 star, I think. It was probably truly like a 0 star. I can't even remember what that one was. It was about like a forced roommate situation, I think. But anyway, but I have mixed reviews about her, mixed feelings about her. Then when I started When in Rome, it was just like so cheesy and so cliche, I could not do it. But ever since I saw, I believe it was Haley Pham say that she did the same thing, she DNF'd it, but then she picked it back up and it was like a 4.5 or a 5 star to her, something like that. It had a high rating. I was like, okay, I think I can give it another shot. I feel like my book taste is more similar to Haley's than like any other booktuber I found online, so I decided to put another hold on that on Libby at the library, and it's like been available. I keep delivering it later, so I feel like it'll be perfect for the fall time because basically it's about this girl who's a pop star. She like breaks down on the side of the road. This guy who is a baker in this tiny town comes and helps her, and then she ends up like staying in his house, in his guest room, until her car is fixed, and he like shows her around the town, and you know, cozy little small town vibe. Seems like a really cute romance. And Sarah Adams is also Closed Door. Actually, I think maybe her latest novel isn't, but this one is, which I really like. The next book that I want to read is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I've actually read all of her Inheritance Games series. I really enjoyed all of those. I gave them all 3 stars, but more like a 3.75. Like, I would definitely recommend those to people if you like more of like a game. It's very much like a YA game vibe. The whole thing is like solving different puzzles and stuff like that. So really interesting. But I heard of this series maybe like last year. It kind of seems like Truly Devious, which I read that trilogy. Truly Devious is also a really great like fall read if you are interested in more fall reads. But The Naturals kind of reminds me of Truly Devious, because Truly Devious is like they accept all of these exceptional students who have like one thing that they're really good at to the school, and that's kind of what this seems like too. But it's like the FBI is recruiting these young teenagers who have specific gifts that they're really good at. So this says that the female main character, Cassie, is naturally good at reading people, piecing together the tiniest details. She can tell you who you are and what you want. So the FBI recruits her to come be a part of their program to solve cold cases. So she finds out they actually have a lot of teenagers who they've recruited to help solve the cold cases. And I think this is one of 4, maybe 3, but I feel like there's 4 books. So I'm honestly really excited. It feels more like a mystery, not so much like a thriller. And I just feel like a mystery is perfect for the fall time, because it's not like scary and like you're having to binge read, which I like binge reading books, but sometimes it's just too much when you have like a lot of just life going on in general. It's like all I can think about. So I'm excited to start this. The next book that I want to read is Legendary, which is the 2nd book in the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. It's hard to say like my favorite series, because it's hard to compare stuff to like Hunger Games and Harry Potter. So when I talk about my favorites, I just like don't include those, because I feel like those are just on another level. They're so good. But my favorite series that I've read, I guess in like the past 5 years, is Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. So ever since I read that, and I told you all at the beginning of this video, it put me in a book slump because it was just that good. I really wanted to read her Caraval series. I don't know if that's how you say that, I'm assuming, but her Caraval series, which she came out with years before Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I actually did end up reading the first book, and I finished it a couple days ago, and honestly, it was very disappointing. I gave it 3 stars. That's not a bad rating to me. 3 stars is like, I maybe would recommend it, maybe not. I enjoyed it, but I am not obsessed with it. I probably won't think about it anymore. And so it was just like so confusing the whole time, and I was just like so confused, and nothing ever came to make more sense. It just got more and more confusing. So I didn't love the aspect of it, but a lot of people say the 2nd book is like way better. And now that I know like what to expect and how the game works, because again, it's kind of like the Inheritance Games, which also would be a good fall read, but kind of like the Inheritance Games, where it's all based on like this game that they're playing. But now that I know what to expect, I feel like it won't be as confusing. And it's also like the point of view of the sister in the first one, and she goes through the game and has to play it. I'm really like looking forward to that one. At first when I finished Caraval, I was like, I do not even want to read the 2nd one, but now I'm kind of like missing those vibes, and it feels kind of like dark and magical, and so I think I will be reading that one, and it's called Legendary, if I didn't already say that, by Stephanie Garber. The next book and last book that I have on my autumn TBR is Mr. October by Bethany Weaver. I just found this one randomly on Goodreads, and like the recommended at the bottom, or like the similar to whatever book I was looking at. And this one looks like it's probably going to be a solid 3 stars, which is fine. Like that's still enjoyable to me, but it is just like a classic fall rom-com. It's set in October, obviously, hence the name. And this one is basically about these 2 teachers. I guess like the whole town plays pranks on each other, like Halloween themed pranks throughout the month of October. And these 2 teachers are playing pranks on each other, and you know, that's the romance. And so anyway, it just seems very like lighthearted and fun. And so I'm honestly really looking forward to that one, because sometimes it's nice after reading a bunch of like heavy books or just mystery themed stuff, you get to just read something so lighthearted and fun, and you know, you can just drink your pumpkin latte or whatever and read your book, and it's just really cozy. So those are all the books that I have on my TBR. TBD on if they're good or not. To make sure to follow me on Goodreads if you're interested in looking at my reviews. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Like this video if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.